Silva had promised me a 10 o'clock showcase. I had to make sure I was on stage and ready for my close-up. Diga a Becker. Que vim para ele. Ah!
Ei, olha aqui. Tropa. Ei, moço. Mano, quem é esse cara aí?
Manda tua conta, rapaz.
Vai, fudeu! Meu conta eu tenho tomado no cu, pô.
Ela não desgruda dela, meu.
Ei, quem é essa cara aí?
Convidado nosso. Quebra esse otário aí.
Deixa comigo, vou dar uma lição nele.
Então, o pai dela não desgruda.
Ladrão, filha da puta! Atrás de inocente! Vai ver como vai acontecer contigo! Vamos aqui! Eu não fiz nada! Você vai se proteger, caralho! Tá pensando o quê? Hã? Onde é que você vem? Fica aí, cara! Eu? Se fodeu, filha da puta! Otário! Vai, otário! Deixa eu sair daqui, né?
Ô, segura a porta aí!
Eu vi uma outra versão.
Vamos resolver aquela parada lá, hein?
Morou.
Chega aí.
Meu amigo.
Hey! What are you doing here? Huh? I ask you a question!
Answer him! Answer him!
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing here?
O que você está fazendo aqui?
What are you doing here?
I don't understand. I can't hear you.
What are you doing here?
Doing here?
Me in the ear.
Hey, answer me! What are you doing here?
Back in the precinct after all this time. Time to find out what the hell was going on. I knew nothing resembling good times lay beyond that gate, but I was gonna have to face the music sooner or later. About the only friend I had left in that town. I guess our little stunt helped some other civic-minded people raise valid concerns about community relations. Their faces said it all. I was on their side, but how could they know that? If they came through that door, I'd be leaving as a human shield and never leaving at all. Luckily for me, for once the police arrived just in time. It sounded like all hell was breaking loose. Whatever nonsense De Silva had pulled, it seemed to be working.
guy. She ain't gonna help me. Fucking luck.
The last few prisoners were trapped in here, and more pressingly, seemed I was too. The security switch had to be in that booth. Special Forces painkillers. It was Monday's arrest log, as far as I could tell, and no sign of anybody from Nova Esperanza. All those poor bastards have been checked straight into the Imperial Palace Hotel. Either there was a switch to those doors somewhere, or I was in a whole heap of shit. That kid had the right idea. There was no point bouncing bullets off that thing. I decided I'd try to pick up where he left off. And then immediately regretted that decision. this nice? The perfect end to a perfect trip. If someone had told me 6 months ago this was where my life was headed, I'd have ordered a double of whatever they were drinking, drunk it, then blown my head off. Any time the prison riot had bought me was starting to run out. I had to keep moving.
Quebra as pernas dele! Cadê seu respeito?
Filho da puta!
Another dark, rainy night. Another police station. Another futile crusade for amends. Time moves forward, and nothing changes. Every bastard in the joint must have known I was on the loose by now. I couldn't afford to waste any more time. Police food, the same crap the world over. But I could reminisce about the old days later. For now, there was more pressing matters to deal with. They'd come from the control room. It looked like the security cameras were still running. I figured I should check out the security monitors while I had the chance. Figured I'd bag those up for evidence. It looked like the prisoners were giving them a run for their money. That's what happens when you hand some roided-up half-wit a commando uniform with special on the front and let him ride around his hometown in a tank playing soldiers. Sooner or later, someone's gonna decide he's not so special. There were a bunch more in the elevator, tooled up like they were about to roll into Fallujah. And of course, they were headed my way. If the heat was rising, that meant I was getting closer to the source. I had to keep moving. There was one thing I learned since being in Sao Paulo. It was that me and the local elevators were not a good mix. Whatever depressing fate lay on the other side of those doors, there was no point in putting it off any longer. I'd killed more cops than cholesterol, and still no sign of Becker. It wasn't the first time it dawned on me I should probably have gone over the plan in more detail, but it was too late for that now. If I didn't hurry, Becker would be long gone. AUP. Those were the guys who jumped the yacht in Panama. And what was this? Had the Brazilian cops tipped them off about the money? Sao Paulo's own David and Goliath. I'd pinned De Silva as a coward, but he'd risked more than anyone, and he'd never taken a bribe. I still didn't know how I'd gone from drinking myself numb in New Jersey to looting corpses in Brazil. But this was where I was, 5,000 miles from a home I couldn't go back to, on another suicide mission to clean up a mess that wasn't even mine. I'd spent my career dozing off in the briefing room. Now, the CS were all but out of business in Sao Paulo, and suddenly Becker and Victor looked like local heroes in the war on crime. They'd really gotten their money's worth outsourcing their problems onto me. It was starting to feel as if I'd never leave that place. Like one of those nightmares where you keep running and running, only to discover you're chasing yourself. Nothing I was gonna find in there could make a difference now. I had all the evidence I needed. Tear gas. This wasn't good. I needed to find a way out of that stairwell, and fast. My eyes and throat burned, but at least I could breathe. I was trying to work out what direction I was headed in when I discovered some more Brazilian architecture not designed for the American physique. There it was, the tape from the Bronco security system. Jesus, it was that guy. I had seen him in the favela, Bachmeyer, Becker's right-hand man. His time would come, him and Becker. I'd seen enough. It was time to bring this nightmare to an end. I couldn't get that tape out of my head. Why had Ufe killed Rodrigo? I wasn't gonna find any answers in the forensics lab. I had to push on.
Hey, pal. Nice to see you.
Vai pra casa, gringo de merda.
I don't think we've been properly introduced.
I know who you are.
Then you should have killed me in the office when you had the chance.
There's still time, meu camarada.